Hiya, and welcome back to After Class, the game that teaches us that Lars is, I don't know, something about Lars. Yeah, if we're going by the remake, he's 18. I don't fucking know. I'm headcanoning the fuck out of this. Anyways, let's just hop right in. He's not 40. Never in a million. Well, I mean, in a million years, he'll be a million years old, so... You two exchanged a friendly nod as you made your way towards the bathroom to do your night routine. After bidding each other goodnight, you headed back to your room to get some shut-eye while Lars stayed in the living room a little bit longer before hitting the hay himself. Kardashian to that argument. Ah, there's the newest issue I've been looking for. There's only one left. I got lucky today. Time to take it home with me. As Mr. Parker extended his arm for the book on the topmost shelf, someone bumped against him, aiming at the same top shelf where his hand was. He looked at the other person curiously, wondering if he was going to take the same book he'd been eyeing. Sorry about that. Are you also taking this book? This was the worst case scenario for him. He'd hoped that this person wouldn't take the same book. Couldn't do anything else but to surrender. Even though he got here first before anyone else, Mr. Parker smiled politely, doing his best not to show disappointment toward the stranger. You can have it. Oh, really? Thank you. The person who bumped into Mr. Parker grabbed the book joyfully before walking off toward the checkout counter to pay for the book that was supposed to be his. Petrified, he looked at the empty space where the book was previously seated. Twisted curls appeared on each side of his lips, slowly turning into a smile soon after. A defeated smile, rather, but it was still a smile. You know, this is why the things you like keep slipping away from your hand. A familiar voice echoed from behind. He looked back to the source of the voice. Ah! Thank you for the raid! He looked back to the source of the voice. It was someone who'd been gone for a day without any news. Yo. Oh. Miss me? What book were you looking for anyway? Gil stepped between Mr. Parker and the bookshelf, leaving him no choice but to take a step back as his friend observed the surrounding books. It was the last one. Figures. You've been gone without any news and decide to show up in a bookstore today? I think you owe me an explanation. I really do. Walter is here, so make it quick. I don't want him to hear about this. Fine, fine. Where have you been? You left again without telling me anything. I went back to my place. What? Are you nuts? It's not what it seems. Samuel came and told me that our dad is dying, so I wanted to see if it's true or not. Well? Gil stayed silent, an apparent grimace painted on his face. I see. So what does that mean? I don't know. I might need to leave Highwell again and head back home to take care of a few things. Worst case, you get appointed as the next leader of the Leonard family. Of the Leonard family. That's ridiculous. What about your siblings? They aren't qualified from what I've seen. Fuck. I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's fine. When it comes to that, can you tell Walter about it? Why can't you tell him yourself? You know the thing about the Leonard family and the Graham family? Right, it's complicated. But still, I think you should tell him yourself. He'll understand. I don't know, Parker. This feels impossible. They wanted to keep this secret from you, but they didn't realize you'd been standing nearby listening to their conversation. If what Gil said was true, then he might leave for good, and you didn't want that. You wanted to do something, but what to do? Should you ask for your parents' help? But knowing that something between your side of the family and his side of the family wasn't going too good, you felt like you couldn't do that. What to do? As the morning approached, you stirred in your cozy bed, slowly waking up from the warm sunlight peeking through the curtains and brushing against your face. A soft yawn escaped your lips as you stretched your arms while slowly getting up to sit up in the bed. You stared at your legs, mind slowly transitioning from the realm of dreams to the reality of a new day. It's Thursday. This was the first time you woke up really feeling just fine after moving here since last week. You blinked a few times, now watching the window curtains gently swaying left and right. The room was filled with a comforting silence, interrupted only by the distant chirping of birds outside, accompanied with the faint sound of a sizzling frying pan in the kitchen. You swung your legs over the side of the bed, feet landing on the cold, hard wooden flooring, right hand slowly reaching for your phone on the nightstand. With your phone in hand, you sleepily glanced at the clock showing on the backlit screen. 6:30. I'm awake early today. After turning off the alarm you set some time ago, you rose from the bed and headed toward the window, pulling the curtains aside to let more sunlight into the room. The warm rays finally bathed the room, casting a soft golden glow. You took a deep breath, inhaling the fresh morning air before heading out to greet your tiger housemate in the kitchen. Making your way to the kitchen, you notice a wide-open bathroom door. Curious, you looked inside. There was nothing else exciting happening other than the washing machine doing its job cleaning the laundry. Figures. Upon reaching the kitchen, you found Lars bustling around with pots and pans. The aroma of freshly brewed chamomile tea and sizzling bacon filled the air, making your stomach grumble in response. Oh no! Walter, you're up early. Judging from how his face looked and how he flinched, it must have been so loud that even he could hear from there. How embarrassing. Yeah, I woke up I even woke up before my alarm. Well, I hope you're hungry. Breakfast is almost ready. Yeah, my stomach just grumbled earlier. Telling him that was a feeble attempt to save face on your end, as if you didn't feel embarrassed about the fact that he heard your stomach making a loud noise. Go sit down. I'll have it ready for you soon. You nodded eagerly and took a seat on the kitchen chair, watching as Lars expertly flipped the bacon in the pan. The sound of sizzling filled the room, paired with the scent of a morning meal created a perfect atmosphere of a comforting space. Fuck, I can't fucking talk. Here you go. Lars placed a plate of bacon and eggs in front of you before sitting down across you just like yesterday. Thank you, Lars. So, how did you sleep? Please don't say with eyes closed. I mean, I did sleep with my eyes closed. I know, that's why I stopped you before you did that. He's in a good mood. Lars chuckled happily, pouring the tea he brewed into 2 mugs. One for him, the other one for you. For whatever reason, a faint blush started tinging in your cheeks. Well, I slept okay. Had a weird dream last night, but I can't really remember the details. It felt familiar, though. He raised an eyebrow curiously. Did you think it had something to do with the events you've been forgetting? Nah, that can't be. Felt like it happened recently. Interesting. Dreams can be tricky like that, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. You knew that forgetting about dreams after waking up was a normal occurrence for everyone, but it still had you feeling bummed out. Your expression turned pensive, your gaze shifted from the breakfast in front of you to the window behind Lars. I'm actually feeling a little bit frustrated whenever I forget something, especially with the fact that I'm not able to recall my childhood memories. Lars put down his fork, then slowly reached over you and held your hand reassuringly. Don't worry, Walter. Sometimes memories have a way of resurfacing when we least expect them. Just give it time. Knowing that he tried to cheer you up, you managed a small smile, appreciating his comforting words. You're right. Thanks for reminding me, Lars. I'm glad to have you here. A genuine smile painted on his face. His ears perked up as he let go of your hand so that you could go back to eating breakfast with him. Of course, Walter. I've got your back. Let's dig in before the food gets cold. You both began to eat, savoring the delicious breakfast Lars had prepared. The clinking of cutlery and the idle chatter between you two filled the kitchen. The conversation flowed effortlessly between you and him, touching on various topics, school, the upcoming plans, and even a few playful jabs at his cooking skills. Your breakfast time passed by in a comfortable haze of camaraderie. Thanks to Lars comforting you with his words, it was short, but it was effective. Can't fucking talk. When your breakfast time with Lars came to an end, you made your way back to your room, feeling the need for a fresh sourness. Refreshing. Apparently I can't fucking speak English today. When your breakfast time with Lars came to an end, you made your way back to your room, feeling the need for a refreshing shower to start the day off right. Once you had the towel draped over your back, you spared no time dashing towards the bathroom. You undressed and tossed your laundry into the hamper since Lars had already started a cleaning cycle before you even woke up. The warm steam was already beginning to fill the air as you stepped in and turned on the water. Yeah, no, it's not Englishing. Sensation of slightly warm water against your skin was both relaxing and rejuvenating. Taking advantage of waking up early, you took a longer shower than what you usually did. It was a moment of solitude, allowing you to reflect on the day ahead and gather your thoughts. At this point, and personally, I've been saying this for a few years now. English, at this point, I don't think it's a fucking language. I don't think English is a language. I think English is a fucking... I swear to God, it's like 3 languages stacked on top of each other in a trench coat, trying to sneak into an R-rated movie. I swear to God, I don't even fucking know what English is anymore. Lost in the tranquility of the moment, you couldn't help but think about the events of the previous day. Glimpses into Mr. Parker's past, the weight of his emotions, and the undeniable bond you two were developing. It intrigued you and sparked a stronger curiosity to learn more about your professor. Maybe you should ask him about the picture you saw at his place yesterday. As water continued to cleanse your body, you thought it was time to reach for the soap. You lathered your body, relishing in the soothing sensation of the watermelon-scented soap you brought with you from home. The gentle scrubbing motion finally awakened your senses, grounding you in the present moment. Once you finished scrubbing your fur clear with it, you let the water wash away the last remnants of soap before stepping out of the shower. You patted the dry towel against your body, then wrapped it around your waist, feeling a renewed energy coursing through you. It wasn't the only physical grime that got washed away by the morning shower. Your doubts and uncertainties were also disappearing, at least for now. A set of clothes you wore when you first arrived to Highwell revealed themselves when you shifted through the closet looking for something to wear. I haven't worn those in a while. Should I wear something nicer today? Seeing that there was no reason to not wear them, you removed the hanger and started getting dressed for the day. You had a feeling today would be a decent day, so you walked out of your room with a puffed up chest. With Lars still doing his thing in the kitchen, you decided to finally head out for school without delay. After confirming that everything was accounted for, you zipped the backpack and carried it on your back. Did the stream die? Oh, okay. Heavy footsteps coming from behind were seemingly growing closer towards you. Turning your head revealed your housemate holding the same lunchbox you brought to school yesterday. Ah! Glad I managed to catch you before you left. He's a husky. Here, your lunch for today. I made spinach salad with maple dressing, also a chicken and basil sandwich with butter coating. That sounds tasty. I'm looking forward to having them later, Lars. I think he's either a husky or a Malamute. So he's either a Loken or an onion. Orion. An onion. You didn't have to do this, though. I usually just eat out at the cafeteria with Mark. Oh. If you don't want me to make you lunch anymore, just let me know.
I was doing so well streaming Sims 4 until boom, my stream goes into a fucking error. All that work and effort. Gone. Fuck me.
Axel, that happens sometimes. It just happens sometimes. It's happened to me a few times. All you gotta do is just keep going. It's not fun, but it happens. Ah! Lars! We want your lunch. It would be a waste of an opportunity if you declined his offer to make lunch for you every day. This was a perfect excuse to show off to Mark that you had a personal chef at home. With a mischievous grin, you happily took the lunchbox off Lars's rugged hands. You know your cooking is too delicious to pass up on. I'd love to have you make lunch for me forever. Heck, marry me! Took a step back in shock, and judging from the bashful face he just made, you could tell that he wasn't prepared for your reply. If you don't mind being with someone like me. Sorry, I missed what you said just now. Was storing the lunchbox into the backpack. I just said I would love to cook for you. Good to know. I'll be in your care, Lars. I should be heading to school now. Oh, okay. Right. Sorry for holding you up. No, you were handing me a lunch. I'm happy about this. Okay, going to school for real now. Be safe, Walter. Have a good day at school. I'll try. Hiya. I just realized that Lars is wearing shorts. It took me an entire year. Prior to finishing breakfast, Mr. Parker had planned by text to walk to school with you together. You agreed and waited in front of your house behind the gate. Yeah. From the distance, you could discern a figure walking towards you. Yeah, no. It took me this fucking long to realize that he's wearing shorts. I thought he was wearing long pants. He's wearing shorts. How did it take me this long to notice? Yes, I'm aware. Looking at it now, like right here and here, you can see that he's wearing shorts. At a single glance, yes, I do agree. At a single glance, it does look like pants. Yeah. From the distance, you could discern a figure walking towards you. It was him while waving his hand at you with a smile on his face. At this point, you thought that a routine had formed of starting your day with a shared journey, exchanging snippets of conversation and enjoying each other's company. Oh, fuck that. Snow. Morning, Walter. Good morning, Mr. Parker. Wasn't expecting you to wake up this early. Haha, same to you. He chuckled, unable to come up with a response to that. Well, should we get to school now? Mm-hmm. You walked out of the gate without realizing how excited you were to see him today. Mr. Parker saw your excitement through your wagging tail, decided to ask if you were in a good mood this morning, which caught you off guard and had you feeling embarrassed. The thing about dog folks is that they couldn't hide their feelings whenever they felt happy. Their tails would always betray them even if they tried to put on a stoic face. It was the same for you. Even when you held your tail hoping for it to stop wagging, it would still somehow twitch left and right within your grasp. Eventually you stopped trying and let what your tail was supposed to happen. As you two set off on your walk, you couldn't help but notice a somber expression on Mr. Parker's face. Sensing your dear friend's distress, you decided to broach the subject that had been weighing on his mind, hoping that he would tell you what was in his mind. You seem a bit off, Mr. Parker. Is everything okay? While your voice was filled with genuine concern, you knew he could be a bit tight-lipped when it came to his troubles, so you asked his question without expecting anything in return. He hesitated for a moment, his gaze fixed on the pavement as you two walked. Eventually he replied, his voice tinged with a hint of sadness. I've been dealing with some things lately, Walter. It's just personal stuff. Him telling you that he'd been dealing with some personal things was a start. Maybe you could eventually ease him into talking into it, but for now you gently nudged him, offering him support. I've said this too often, I'm sorry if it's gotten annoying. I don't know if I'll be able to solve the problem, but if you want to get it off your chest, you can talk to me about it anytime. I'm here for you, you know that. Mr. Parker glanced at you, his eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and vulnerability. Thank you again, Walter. I'm really happy hearing it. You sensed that he was still holding back, so you decided to give him some more space, knowing that Mr. Parker would share when he was ready. Just pop filter. There we go. With nothing more exchanged after that, you two walked together in companionable silence. Do you have any plans for lunch break? No. But I've brought packed lunch with me again today. I see. Well, if you don't have anything to do during lunch break, why don't you see me later in my office? Oh, you got something in mind? Yeah, I'm thinking of having lunch with you this afternoon, if you're up for it. I'll let you know. Just come to my office if you want to have lunch together. Okay. Alright, time to head over to my office. See you soon, Walter. See you soon. Wait. Yeah? We might have conflicting schedules for lunch break and won't be able to see each other. But even so, let's walk home together later. If you want. Yeah, okay, I'll wait by the gate if I finish the class first. Sounds good. I'll do the same as well. Going now. See you later. I'm serious this time. Alrighty. As Mr. Parker excused himself into the building, you had a feeling that someone was approaching you. Turning around, you saw Mark walking towards you with the usual smugness decorating his face. Why weren't you joining him? He's going into his office. And? Would be weird to follow him in there. Sure. You got here early, by the way. Same to you. What's up? Not much. I just woke up before my alarm is all. What about you? Just felt like going here early. Just like yesterday? Just like yesterday. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no need to ask if everything is fine at home. You know me. Are things okay at home? I'm going to hit you. You want to head into the classroom now? Sure, it's not like I have anything to do over here. That's what I thought. Oh, yeah, someone important is supposedly in our school today. Really? How did you know? No, fuck. Hit the wrong key. I just saw them on my way to class today. But they're going to have a serious talk with Mr. Stone. Seriously? I think he's in big trouble. Mark shot the three school gossipers a dirty look as he walked past them. Thankfully, they got the message loud and clear and went somewhere else to continue their gossip. Those three seriously have nothing better to do. Haha. It would be a lie if you said your curiosity wasn't peaking when you overheard their conversation, but judging from how Mark reacted to their gossip, you decided to keep your mouth shut. It would make you no better than those three classmates of yours in his eyes. And you wouldn't want that. And you really are that nosy, huh? But your expression betrayed your thoughts. Had you realized it sooner, Mark wouldn't have teased you about it. Sorry. No need to be. I know what's going on, but I don't know any details. Someone important is coming to our school, it's true. I don't know who, nor did I bother to find out. Someone important, like the head of the college? Don't know. I see. And about whether they're going to talk to Mr. Stone or not, I have no idea. Oh god, is it Edgar? Even if so, there's nothing you should be worrying about. I guess you're right. You're going to be free this afternoon? I wish. Going to be busy again today. Aw, shame. Maybe if you asked nicely and insisted, I might consider it. Are you seriously busy this afternoon? Yes, I'm just messing with you. Okay, got it. There was no sign of Mr. Parker entering the classroom, which was fair considering it was still early enough. You took your time just sitting on your desk with a phone in your hand. Your lying classmate, on the other hand, made use of the free time by catching some extra shut-eye. By the time your literature professor walked past the doorframe, Mark had already been drooling onto his hand. You were reluctant to wake him up since he was sleeping so soundly, but neither did you want him to embarrass himself in front of many people if Mr. Parker lectured him. Mark, wake up. Mr. Parker's here. 5 more minutes. Mark! Ugh, fine, I'm up. Mark lazily dragged his books out of his backpack, which was surprising by itself. He would just usually slam his backpack onto the desk and just rest his head on it. What was more surprising was that Mr. Parker seemed completely distracted today. Because of that, your brain was trying to figure out what was wrong and ended up not listening to his lecture at all. The lecture passed by quickly. You learned nothing at all today. Mark lazily stretched his arms, resting his head on the desk while facing you. Yo, wanna visit the cafeteria today? Ah, fuck. God, this fucking chair. Yeah, sorry, Mark. We got other plans. Oh, well, I get it. But I haven't even said anything! It's obvious you had something else in mind. I see. Well, if you finished early, I'll be in the cafeteria. Can stop by any time. I will. No promises, though. That's enough for me. Mr. Parker told me I could visit him at his office, so I'll be doing that. Deciding you would go see your literature professor, you packed your things in your backpack and headed straight towards his office. Thank you. Please, after you. Oh, Mr. Parker! As you took the last step towards downstairs, you saw Mr. Parker in the hallway, standing by his office door. Try calling out to him until you realized he might be having a guest in his office. Maybe later. While standing and waiting by the stairs, you heard the sound of jingling keys. Looking forward, a familiar face was walking past you. Here's friend Wilfred walking in the hallway, spinning a keychain around his finger. He appeared to be focused on something, judging from his grimace. Even so, without hesitation, you called out to him and approached him before he vanished towards the front gate. I missed having some street food. I could use some cup noodles from the old man storekeeper right now. Wilfred! He turned around, adjusting his glasses to get a better look at the source of the voice who called out to him. slight glare coming from the lenses between the frames of his glasses. Oh, Walter, it's lunch break. You're not having lunch? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just waiting for someone right now. That's a shame. I would have asked you out for a lunch date. Talbot, but with glasses. The cooler Talbot. It's best boy. It's the better Talbot. Talbot can go. He can go trip and fall into a lake full of piranhas. Anyways, what do we want to do with Wilfred? Laugh it off or consider? Those piranhas are gonna eat. Oh no. Talbot. Oh no. Yeah. I'll think about it. Cool, maybe I'll finally have a chance to have lunch with the cutest guy in Highwell Uni. If his plan was to make you feel flustered, he did a damn good job at it. Anyway, you don't seem like you're having lunch yourself. I just got here. My classes don't start until later. Oh, afternoon classes? Yup, I have days where I sleep late, so I don't want to be late for my classes. I see. So much for that lunch date, huh? Hey, it doesn't mean I couldn't ask you out. What does that mean? What do you think? Anyway, it's getting crowded over here. You want to head over to the soccer fields? Glanced over at the door to Mr. Parker's office. It was strange, but you just had a feeling that he wouldn't be done anytime soon. Might as well. Let's go! He took his glasses off and let out a smile. Shit, that guy's cute. Do you enjoy coming here, Wilfred? Just a bit. I tend to relax here and just enjoy basking in the sun. Oh, why's that? My kind is cold-blooded, so the warmth from the sun feels nice to our skin. Oh, I didn't know. I've always assumed you were... fish? Wilfred was stunned, his eyes widened in surprise, jaw slightly open. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it without being weird about it. You were thinking he would reprimand you, but instead he laughed heartily, arms wrapped around your neck. It's hard to figure out we are just from our looks. You're not wrong, though. I'm part fish, as you call it. More specifically, I'm half shark, half horned lizard, and no, I don't shoot blood out of my eyes. We're not capable of doing that. What?! Horned lizards are able to shoot blood out of... Oh, wait, yeah, they actually are able to shoot blood out of their eyes. I see. Other than the sun, we also enjoy body warmth, especially ones with thick fur like yours. He said that while his arms caressed your fur lovingly. You were flustered, unsure how to react to it. I see. Thankfully, though, he let you go after that. You hid your face, sighing in relief because he let you go, but on the flip side, you felt disappointed because his touch felt quite pleasant. What a dilemma. It was comfortably warm weather, perfect for some sunbathing. Wilfred sat down next to a big tree and leaned against the rock with a grunt. Still hiding your face, you did the same so that you could observe your friend under its shade. His skin glistened under the sun, not because he was sweating, but it was as if the sunlight bounced off his skin. You have this weird urge to touch him and feel how it would feel against your fingers. Maybe it would feel so smooth, maybe rough. Did he have scales? What about his lower parts? Parts? Plural? Or the male sharks have no external testicles. What? 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 I'm going to plug my phone in while mentally processing what the fuck I just read. What the fuck? It's funny. It's funny. I'll give them that. It's funny. Hang on. Let me just... You read that male sharks have no external testicles. and that they have two dicks instead of one. Glancing down, looking straight at his crotch area, you felt your cheeks getting warm. Not because of the sun, but because of the rush of perverted images forming within your mind. Stop! Bad thoughts! You've been staring for a while. Everything alright? Nope! Yes! Which one? Everything is great!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You closed your eyes, enjoying the light breeze which caused the tree leaves to swish gently. When you opened your eyes, you saw your friend covering his eyes with one of his thick arms. This feels nice. I wish this could last forever. From your vantage point, looking towards the horizon of the school buildings, notice how busy the surrounding was. Yet, for whatever reason, the soccer field was always left empty. Made you feel freer than usual. You wished it could stay like this forever. You're right. It's not realistic, though. Yeah. Hey, Walter, can I ask you to listen to me talking about my problems for a bit? Thick thighs save lives. Yes. We'll listen to your problems. Of course, what's up, Wilfred? So, I have been dealing with some family drama, and I'm faced with a slight dilemma. It has something to do with my parents and, moved out of my parents' house because I couldn't deal with this bullshit, which is in my best interest. My parents are asking me to go back home to have dinner with them sometime soon. And I'm not sure... Who's question mark, question mark, question mark? And I'll be able to sit in the same room in a civilized manner. I see. Why is that? Is that Talbot? The thing with Talbot, every time we see each other, we end up throwing hands. You should be able to guess already. The way Talbot is right now, it agitates me. The way he acts towards others makes me feel ashamed that I'm his brother, just like how he feels ashamed to be my brother. But that's beside the point. If I told you we used to be inseparable, could you believe it? He used to be that protective brother, even though he couldn't fight. He protected me when people bullied me in school. He took a self-defense class eventually so that he could learn to protect me. I haven't learned how to fight because I looked up to him so much. He was everything I wanted to be. And now I just want to beat the heck out of his condescending face. Not saying I'm going to, but given the chance, I would. It's like I said, I can tell that he's ashamed to be my brother through and through. Like he doesn't even want to have anything to do with me. That's only one problem. Another one is that he doesn't respect our parents at all. He yells at our mother and he disagrees with my father about everything. I don't know what changed between us or what happened to him. He wouldn't tell me, and asking my parents gave me nothing. That sucks. He called me a faggot one time. What? I wouldn't say it shattered me, but boy, was I furious. That was the first time I smashed his face in, and the same reason I moved out because I couldn't bear the guilt of doing that. You like guys? Ah, come on, don't pretend that you don't know. We both know that we like people of the same sex. Guilty as charged. But yeah, I want to believe that he became the way he is not because of the fact that I like guys. Well, the fact that he called me a faggot, it sort of discredited him, huh? Yeah, no matter at what angle I look at this, it doesn't look good on him. That's the thing! He's quite fond of our Coach Gill, isn't he? Is he? I haven't seen them together often. Oh, God! Oh, you would love to see it. He's imprinted on him like a baby bird. So it's conflicting. Thing he said to me versus his actions. I can tell that he's suffering, but... Wilfred let out a long, defeated sigh. I feel a bit helpless knowing that it's nothing I could change. It's frustrating! I'm sorry, Wilfred. I wish I could tell you what to do. Do you have a brother, Walter? Yeah, a twin brother. Oh, are you two in good terms? Well, it's a bit complicated. I know they think that I don't notice it, and I pretend to be oblivious about it. A cunning little pup, aren't you? No! I just don't want them to worry is all. They try to hide the fact that there's a lot going on, so I don't want to add more to their already overflowing plate. Oh, the reason is more innocuous than I thought I see. I might be naive, but I'm not straight up dumb. Oh, Walter. Herbert and I are no longer on talking terms, I know that, but I believe we don't dislike each other. At least I don't. He's still the younger brother that I love very much, even if we don't talk anymore. Plus, I think it's my fault that he's the way he is right now. Why do you think so? Whatever happened to me back then affected my family big time, so now that they are prioritizing me over him, at least that's the impression I get from them. It's clear that they are paying me extra attention. I don't hate it, but it feels stuffy at times.
Wilfred, I hate to say it, but this isn't therapy. We ain't your therapist. Save it for actual therapy, not us.
Denial is a river that flows through Egypt. It has a length of... I don't know. Thanks to that, I was nicknamed the Golden Child of Farfetch High. That's the reason I moved out. The nickname or the fact that they were controlling your life? The latter. Didn't bother me as much. It's easier to just ignore what they said about me. Of course, it's also thanks to Coach Gill that the remainder of my high school year was tolerable. I see. Are you enjoying university life, Walter? Aside from some minor unpleasant experiences, it's been great so far. That's good. It's a good thing that bullies are almost non-existent in uni, huh? Aside from Talbot, that is. How embarrassing. Well, Talbot isn't a bully, methinks. He's just violent, I guess? That's even worse. No, it's not like that. I mean, like, he's unapproachable? Fair enough. To me right now, he's a major dick. Not a good dick, even. Sorry, I kind of rambled even though you asked me to listen, Wilfred. Nah, you good. I got to learn a bit about you. I took enough of your lunch break. I need to get ready for my upcoming class anyway. Right, I should just eat my lunch. Weren't you waiting for someone? Well, we won't have enough time to eat lunch together. Fair enough. Sorry if I interrupted your plan, Walter. I'll make it up to you by taking you out for a lunch date sometime. Are we still talking about this? Well, thanks for this, Wilfred. It was nice. No, thank you for this. You're welcome. Once Wilfred left the area, you took out your lunchbox and had it all by yourself. After finishing the lunch, you went back inside the building and waited inside your classroom for the second period to start. Last class passed by in a blur, and the afternoon sun cast long shadows over the classroom. The classroom slowly emptied as the professor wrapped up the lecture. And Mark stayed true to his word. He left as soon as the class dismissed, since he said he'd be busy after school. You gathered your belongings before making your way towards the front gate while wondering if there was anything left you wanted to do before leaving. Maybe not. Time to meet up with Mr. Parker. I hope you didn't wait for me too long. By the time you got there, you already noticed Mr. Parker standing by, waiting for you. He spotted you approaching and waved at you with a mixture of relief and concern. Sorry I'm late. Did you wait long? 5 minutes, give or take. Sorry again for making you wait. It's okay. Shall we go now? At the intersection by Publix, you stood there in confusion as Mr. Parker kept walking forward instead of making a left turn. Quickly called out to him before he wandered too far from you. Mr. Parker, are we going to the bookstore? What? Told me we should be stopping here for a bit, didn't you? I didn't? Confused, you tried recalling the moment he asked for a detour. You couldn't because he didn't this time. I must be misremembering something. Sorry. He tilted his head in confusion as he turned around to continue the journey to his home. Could have sworn he wanted to go to the bookstore before heading back. I'm going crazy. Okay, we're now here. You okay, Walter? Do you want to head back to your house? Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm doing good. Let's head inside. Okay, let me know if you want to go home, though. I can walk you there at least. I'm back. You braced yourself, half expecting Liz to burst out of her room to greet you both. After a few seconds passed, the house was still as quiet as when you first entered it. Huh, seems like she's not home yet. It appeared that you were alone with him this afternoon. Well, make yourself at home, Walter. I'll go get changed. Oh, sure, should I wait here or in your room? Realizing what you said was stupid, you quickly humbled yourself and sat down awkwardly in the armchair. That's a stupid question. I'll wait here. You can come in after, though. I'll just do that. First thing you noticed while waiting for your professor in the living room was how the warm orange rays tinted the whole space with the same color. You could also discern some dust particles flying about the room. Realizing the dust was up and about, floating without any care in the world, made your nose twitch. At first, it was only an idea of itching lingering inside your nostrils, but the more you became curious about the dust, the more your brain tricked you that the idea of your nostril itching was real. Eventually, it became real. You could feel it. Oh no! It's coming! It came. You sneezed. Bless you. Mr. Parker must have heard it from there. Of course he did. Your sneeze was so loud that his neighbors might have heard it. Hearing him say that, you quickly covered your mouth in embarrassment. It was already too late to do that, but hey, at least you pretended to be modest about it. Anyway, the said rays also landed on a wooden surface, casting a gentle glow on the desk you'd been eyeing for a bit. It almost felt a little bit out of place, which served as the reason it caught your attention. Compared to the entire feel of the room, that particular desk looked strangely too neat and clean. Without the intent to pry into someone's living space too much, you suppressed the urge to get up and walk towards it. Instead, you sated your curiosity by doing nothing but only looking at it. I know how it feels to have loud sneezes. I have loud sneezes. And I feel so bad. But that didn't hit the spot quite right. Make yourself at home or get comfortable in the armchair. Fucking chair will not stop rumbling. Oh, don't worry, I've already lost brain cells. I think I'm running on, like, the last 3 right now. Yeah, we're gonna make ourselves at home. Well, he said make myself at home, so... Managing to justify yourself inside your head, you gave into the temptation. You got up and sat on the armchair in front of the desk. The chair made a harsh, high-pitched sound as it tried its best to support the sudden weight you put on it. Your ears didn't like that. You cringed at the sound so much that it made you jump as if you had springs for butt cheeks. Mr. Parker must have heard you again. He quickly came to your aid only to find you staring at the chair unharmed. Within milliseconds... your sight aimed at his crotch. He hadn't even finished pulling up his pants, and it was your fault. It didn't take him that long to notice that you were eyeing his frog-patterned underwear. In response, he quickly adjusted it before asking if you were okay. What happened there? The chair creaked as I sat down on it. Yeah, that one does that. Yeah, just caught off guard, sorry. It's all good. Do you want to come in? As you can see, I've finished changing. Yeah, let's head inside your room. Knowing the fact that it was only you and him this afternoon, your heart raced as you entered his room nervously. You tried your best to not think of anything indecent that could possibly ruin your time alone with him today. Immediately, he quickly collected the clothes he was wearing at school today that were lying across the room. He shoved them into the hamper as soon as he could. Sorry about that. You could see yourself in the situation where someone entered your room while it was still a mess. So you only smiled and nodded at him. I'll get something to snack on. You don't have to. Oh?
The way
sure?
I died.
Yeah. With a plop, he sat down on his bed as if he ran out of energy immediately. Oh no, did I say something wrong? Should I have accepted the offer? Maybe something like, oh, cookies will be nice. Some cookies will be nice. Oh, okay, let me grab some from Liz's stash real quick. Will that be okay? It'll be fine. Be right back. Just like that, he left the room towards the search for Liz's cookies stash, while you made yourself comfortable in his room, by looking around, of course. Compared to his room, the living room was way more organized. In contrast to the desk in the living room, this desk in particular was a real mess. You really wanted to just help him clean up, at least organizing these cluttered items scattered across the room and pick up the trash. Maybe throwing these away should be fine. Ah, son of a bitch, Walter. Without your host's permission, since he was still hovering around the pantry trying to grab Liz's treasured possession, you did what you thought was permitted, picking up what seemed like trash to you and tossed them into the trash bin. At least they are all crumpled paper. Come to think of it, Herbert's room was also this messy at one point. He even refused to get out of his room. Had Mom and Dad worried a lot. I wonder if it's the same with Mr. Parker? It doesn't look like it, so maybe not. Walking towards his especially messy desk after cleaning up the floor from clutter, you weren't sure if you should touch anything here, so you didn't. What are you doing? Mr. Parker had finished looting the pantry and he came back with a biscuit tin in his hand. What the heck is a biscuit tin? It's a circular cookie box made of stainless steel. Just think of it as a cookie jar. Oh, just picking up the trash. There's a lot of paper in this room. Ah, you didn't have to. I feel so bad having to clean up my mess. Nah, it's okay. I didn't have anything to do anyway. But still. It's okay, really. I hope Liz doesn't get mad that we took her cookies. You don't know how often she did that. Get angry? Stole my clearly labeled Parker's snacks do not touch snacks. Oh, so this is like payback or something? Exactly! Come sit down and have some with me, Walter. On my way. I don't remember when was the last time I saw something like this. Liz loves them. These assorted cookies in a box. Oh, I think I know what they are, and they're so fucking delicious. Took a piece while watching Mr. Parker have his fourth. Now you understood what it actually meant when he looked sad when you declined to have snacks. This was only an excuse for him to have something to snack on while hanging out with you. Yeah, my mom and dad love them too. I wonder if it's an old people thing. You probably shouldn't say that in front of her. Considering how she reacted when you said what you said yesterday, you're right. I should be careful. We probably shouldn't eat the whole thing, though. She might not notice if we only had a few. By the time you reach out your second cookie, he was already finished. He was already finishing his 8th cookie. At this point, you two would end up eating the entirety of the cookies inside the tin. Despite him saying you two shouldn't eat everything inside it. Sitting here having cookies with him had been really nice, but you could feel how awkward it had gotten doing nothing else but that. You tried to start a conversation, but nothing came to mind. It was also the same for your bear professor. Liz is going to murder us. His mouth was chewing the cookies, but you could notice the creases on his forehead. He was thinking hard to come up with something to talk about. Eventually, the awkwardness peaked so high that you had to say something to break the ice, or you would feel like you could die from the awkwardness. I envy you a little bit. Must be nice sharing a living space with Liz. Aren't you sharing with Lars right now? True, but you and Liz feel like actual friends. I mean, Lars is really cool, but he's so organized. We don't often joke like that. And he takes care of everything for me. Our dynamic is totally different than yours. It's fun and alive with you and her, while it's... how do I explain it? It's more controlled with Lars. Yeah, that. It feels a bit like home, which I don't mind because I miss it so much, but I also want to have something like what you have. I guess the grass is greener on the other side, huh? I think I prefer a more controlled and safe environment. I'm not saying it's not safe with Liz, but the things she does... He sighed deeply as his hand reached for another piece of cookie. I guess you're right. I shouldn't take things for granted. Yeah. Sorry if it's awkward hanging out with me, but I got nothing much to say. Oh, that's understandable. I suppose it has something to do with us being teacher and student. Yeah, I didn't really hang out with teachers back then, so I don't know what we should talk about. Nah, most students don't really hang out with their teachers, let alone having cookies together in bed. I'm pretty sure you don't want to talk about my class or school outside of school hours either. Yeah. And me neither. If I want to talk about school, I would have done it at school. Think of it as something like this right now. It's just me and you, as Walter and Parker, not a student and professor in Highwell University. That came out lame. I promise it was cooler in my head. What I'm saying is, let's just think of us as friends. I get what you're saying, but it's hard to wire your brain into thinking that we're not teacher and student first, friend later. Yeah, it's hard for me to do that as well. So I get what you mean. I'm glad I'm not the only one struggling with it. Oh, why? It feels nice knowing that you're also trying to make this comfortable for us. Oh, one second, I have a question for you. Got up and grabbed the framed photo that was sitting and collecting dust on the desk. This person, you said he looked familiar. Do you remember anything else besides what you told me yesterday? I don't think so, I'm sorry. I see, it's okay, just thought I'd give it another try. Not me asking, who is he? A special friend of mine. His name was Kurt. I knew him from my college years. I think it was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago? I wasn't even born yet! Nonsense, you were 12 or something. Anyway, before we actually met, I'd been looking for someone to talk with because I was feeling lonely. He was just the right person at the right time. We immediately clicked after talking through text a few times, and fast forward to half a year later, he happened to be in the area as a temporary worker. We met up and I was in shock. Could you believe it? He was about 30 years old in this picture. No way, he looks very young. That's what I said to myself at the time. Me, on the other hand, kept forgetting that I was still in college because I looked older than I actually was. How embarrassing. I think you look your age. Maybe now, but not back then. So we had our breakfast together, we talked a bunch, and he wanted me to come to his place. I declined initially, but something about him made me doubt myself, so I agreed eventually. We went back to his place, and I was expecting myself to be murdered or something. Pfft, understandable. Didn't you also say the same thing to me? I did? Yeah, you said something like, maybe you're planning to kill me, I think. Right, I did. It's just something I do, I guess. I always assume the worst. Sorry if that offended you. No, not at all. I'm glad. Now, where were we? I found out he was a bartender and a fellow Ostegard. How rare is that? I suppose that was the reason we clicked immediately. Ostegard? Oestgarden. Oestgard. The Land of Wanderers? I'm not sure I follow. It's the region in the west. I was born there. Oh! I didn't know. We talked a bunch at his place, and it went really well, but he had to leave because something urgent came up. Which was fine, family comes first, right? Yeah. I think it was the next day that he called my phone and asked me my help with something. I went to his place and found out that he was actually married. Well, maybe not married, but he was already seeing someone. Made me feel awkward because I think I might have actually grown to like him since we were only talking online. Oh, that sucks. That was actually the last time I heard from him. Oh, did he ghost you or something? Nah, I know he tended to go MIA for a while, but it was never that long. Thought he was in an accident or something. Maybe he died and I was entrusted the key to his place, so it was worrying. I started to forget about him, and then I think about a year later, or maybe half a year later, he came back. Oh, okay. Well, cool. He was back and I still sort of liked him. Worst part is that my roommate and I were starting to get serious about our relationship. Oof. It was pretty weird after that. How so? And my roommate lover turned out to be a big jerk about it, but I loved him. So I couldn't leave him. Meanwhile, Kurt and I started to hit it off. It was a big dilemma for me because I was young and stupid. I ended up leaving my roommate so I could pursue something more with Kurt. It didn't really go well, but leaving my ex was one of the best decisions I've ever made. That's good, I'm happy for you. What do you mean it didn't really go well? Well, remember when I told you he was already seeing someone? He really was, but they weren't a thing anymore due to some circumstances. Which was good, but the person was some kind of big shot, and Kurt was involved simply by association. I didn't know at the time, but even if I did, I wouldn't care. I loved the guy so much I would have killed for him. We were made for each other, I would say. I think it was half a year later when we got super close. We weren't dating, but both of us could feel the sexual tension between us. He had to leave town for something important to attend to, but he promised he would tell me something really important once he came back. But he never did. I thought it was just the usual thing he pulled off. I wasn't worried at first because he always came back. I was patient, waited like I was supposed to. But he never came back. I still don't know what he was going to tell me, and I probably never will. I see. You know where he is now? Gone. Gone? Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's okay. What happened to him, if you don't mind me asking? It was murder. I'm really sorry. You don't have to tell me if you're not comfortable with it, Mr. Parker. It's fine, it's just an old wound now. Talking about it is painful, not talking about it is also painful. I have nothing to lose anymore. It was a complicated case, we still don't know what really happened. Case went cold because there was no lead. Who knows if the murderer is still roaming free? Fuck, I don't know, but I really hope whoever killed him is dead. His face clearly showed a sense of bitterness, hopelessness, and full of hate. Especially the last one. You could tell it from his words, which was understandable. You sat there unable to form a response from the lack of experience dealing with this kind of situation before. But looking at him, it was almost like you two were connected. You could feel what he was feeling, as if you're no stranger to such feelings of losing someone. For whatever reason. Pain, loneliness, hopelessness, confusion, rage, all kinds of emotions fell into one big melting pot. This sucks. You gently swayed towards him, extending your arm and went for a tight hug around his waist. He smiled as he returned the hug, embracing you in this companionable silence. Walter? This made you feel better, and you could only hope it would have the same effect on him. Which one? Yeah. Sometimes your actions do more than words, and this was one of those situations. So you stayed like this longer, no words, only being close to each other. The way he embraced you had you resting your head next to his chest. You could hear his heartbeat, it was nice and calming. His body warmth was comforting as well, you felt like you could fall asleep like this. If only he didn't let you go after being comfortable in his embrace. Thanks, Walter, that really helped. I'm glad. You said his name was Kurt, right? Yeah? Are you sure it's not Curtis? I feel like the person I remembered was Curtis, not Kurt. Well, Kurt and Curtis sound close enough, but still, maybe I got the wrong person. If they are the same person, that's big. Although it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, he wasn't exactly my first love, but Kurt was the one I really loved. I see. Someone he really loved, huh? Must be nice being loved by someone, you thought, not realizing there were plenty of people who loved you unconditionally. You wanted to ask him whether he loved you or not, but the mood wasn't appropriate, and it would make you look like a jerk, especially that he was more or less reminiscing about his late boyfriend-to-be. By the time you snapped back to reality, Mr. Parker had finished talking about Kurt. No thanks to you, not even a single word registered in your head. So you went with the safest answer one could possibly say in this situation. It's a shame about what happened. I would have liked to meet Kurt. Yeah, I think you two would have been good friends. You had that serious yet playful. You had that serious attitude yet playful at the same time. I didn't know he was a trickster until later on. He sounded like a pleasant person. He really was. I miss him. Looking at this vulnerable side of him made you want to embrace him within your arms one more time. Before you could reach towards him, he quickly jumped out of bed, possibly trying to distract himself from the harsh reality. Well, there's no point dwelling in the past. I have my friends with me. I'm doing better now. Haha. His sudden burst had you retracting your action. It would be awkward to just hug him right now. I'm glad. You know, I'm feeling a bit hungry right now. Do you want to eat something, Walter? You just ate half of Liz's cookies. Hey, don't pin this on me. We ate them. Only like 4 though, but okay, I'll go along with it. Good. I could use something more filling than cookies right now. Want to have some instant noodles? The store across the street serves them. My treat, as a thank you for listening to me talking about my boring past. It wasn't boring, I'm happy you told me about it. But sure thing, let's get some instant noodles. Unlike when you were inside of Mr. Parker's house, the temperature outside was immediately colder and fresher. Looking at the mountains in the distance behind rows of houses of the neighborhood, you found yourself in awe at how nice the scenery was around these parts. After admiring and taking your time looking around, Mr. Parker went ahead to order the food he wanted to get. You leaned against the wall in front of his house. I got the same thing for both of us, that okay? Mm-hmm. How are you enjoying Highwell so far? I like it. It's not that different from Farfetch, but I'm happy they put me in the rural part of Highwell. I remember you're also new. If I recall correctly, how is it so far? Not too bad. It's much more alive compared to my hometown, population-wise. It's not my first time coming to Highwell, though, so even if I'm new, I still have a recollection of the area here and there. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I visited Highwell a few years ago, although it wasn't for work or a holiday. I see. I don't think I should pry into this just yet. I should try to steer away from this for now. Hang on. This place is one of the prettiest places I've ever been to. Oh? What makes this place pretty to you? I think it's the fact that this place is surrounded by mountains and hills. Not only is it pretty, but it's cool as heck. I see. What do you think about open, endless grasslands? Stop for the ad. Want to break the ad? Break the ads. I see. What do you think about endless grasslands? I think I'd love it. I could already imagine the wind brushing against my fur, just closing my eyes to enjoy the breeze. Life would be so nice and worry-free. Maybe a tryst to West Garden. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. How's the place like? I would say it's like this part of Highwell, but with less concrete houses and more makeshift timber houses. We also had a lot of tents. It's called a yurt, I think. A yurt? Like those portable tent houses? Yes, how did you know about those? From games. Interesting. Maybe I should look into games some more. Maybe it could help with classes. I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. Maybe it would help us pay attention more. Are you saying you haven't been paying attention to my classes? No, not like that. Well, I guess sometimes I don't pay attention, but it's not like I didn't take notes or anything. I have days where listening to any lectures feels like a chore. Understandable. That aside, the West Garden region is a very grassy area. We typically set our settlement around or on a hill. There are cases where we stay next to a mountain for extra protection. Huh. You did mention West Garden being the land of wanderers. Did you guys move around a lot or something? Some of us aren't nomadic, but a lot of us are still living the way our ancestors did. What about your family? We moved a lot as well. I eventually left them and went visiting other parts of the mainland. Oh, you're quite the wanderer then. Not at all. I think I've only visited Farfetch and Highwell. Huh, interesting. I see. It's still really cool though. I want to experience being a nomad someday. But not until I finish school, I guess. Haha, yes. You want to finish your studies first. Yeah! Maybe after this we can visit my hometown together? With Mark and the others? Yeah. Gil would love it so much, I think. Why's that? I know I'd enjoy frolicking on the grassy fields with me being a dog man. I think you're onto something here. Right? I think it's the same for Gil. Doesn't that mean that Anders would sit down and eat grass? I don't think so. Let's not ask him either. You're right. Another trip with our friends, huh? That sounds like fun. Maybe when we have long breaks. I don't think there's one in near future. Not the moo allegations, oh no. Yeah, I think summer break won't start until 4 months or so. That's a shame. At least it's not in a year or something. Ha, true that. From where you had conversation with Mr. Park, you saw the owner of the shop walk out into the lawn, then bring a set of portable chairs and tables before beckoning you two to help him with it. Oh, it seems like he needs help. You two walked towards the shopkeeper and helped him with setting up the chairs and table with Mr. Parker. Once you finished setting it all up, he went back inside and came out holding 2 bowls of steaming, freshly served instant noodles with ease. From how nimble he was, despite him being in the winter of his life, you could tell that he had experience and enjoyed making food and serving customers. Maybe he used to work in a restaurant or maybe even owned one. A warm and inviting smile painted itself on his face as he handed a pair of chopsticks to you and Mr. Parker. Thank you, Uncle. We're going to eat now. Find yourself just staring at the broth, feeling a little bit homesick from the sudden nostalgia. Despite the fact that you never met your grandparents at all, the way he smiled at you made you feel like you were currently visiting your grandfather in the countryside who enjoyed cooking for you. Walter? What's wrong? Oh! Nothing, just waiting for the food to cool down for a bit, I think. You think? Probably should eat it now before it gets soggy. But the noodles get bigger when it's soggy. Soggy noodles equals more noodles. It doesn't work like that. You're right, you're right. Oh, hiya. Don't worry about it. Without wasting more time, you grabbed the chopstick and started digging in. As soon as the noodles entered your mouth, your taste buds were hit with waves of different flavors. You were expecting the tastes to be clashing with each other, but to your surprise, it was a harmonic blast of everything. The mixture of salty chicken broth with a hint of mild, savory taste from the ketchup. The thinly sliced spring onions added another sweet yet mellow taste into the broth, as well as serving an extra crunchy texture for the noodles when you bit into it. It was also thanks to MSG working its magic, boosting its flavor profile. Whoa, this is good. Right? This old man knows how to make his noodles. It's a shame that he doesn't get more customers, though. Maybe it's for the best. He seems to be thriving as is, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea for him to work more than he already does. Yeah, the more customers means more work. Looking at Mr. Parker, you could tell that he was also enjoying these glorified cheap instant noodles made by this lone storekeeper that people refer to as Uncle. Instead of finishing your food in a hurry, you took your time to make sure you enjoy this to the fullest. The food tasted even better while admiring the spectacle sitting in front of you. Which one? Yeah, we're planning on finishing this update tonight. Yeah, handsome. Has anyone told you that you're really good looking? When you spat that out was uncalled for, but it wasn't necessarily rude or unkind. Still, if you said that to an unsuspecting person, you could expect the same reaction as what your teacher was exhibiting. Heck, I would also react the same way. Mr. Parker spat the broth he was sipping prior to you complimenting him out of thin air and chugged a glass of water provided for free by the storekeeper. Once he calmed down, he wiped the broth that came out of his nostrils before voicing out his protest. What was that for? Jeez, you can't just say that to someone out of nowhere. Sorry, it just came out of my mouth like that. His hearty laugh caught you off guard the same way your unsolicited comment did to him. As a result, you almost choked on the noodles, and that caused a thick chain reaction of laughter. Fuck. You two laughed at each other until you felt that you had to stop or you'd run out of breath. It was the same for him as well. I wasn't mad at you, Walter. Just caught me off guard. I think you're really good looking yourself. He looked away, ears twitching a few times. After finishing the meal, you two decided to stay outdoors, enjoying each other's presence under the crimson sky accompanied with chilly afternoon breeze. Oh? Liz was walking towards her house, presumably coming back from work. Noticed her at the same time she noticed you. She smiled at you, who gave her a warm hand wave. Walter Parker, having dinner without me. Mr. Parker looked at her antics unamusedly and responded with an eye rolling. Make something for you later. Oh, on second thought, enjoy your food. I'm going to get changed and come back in a bit. I gotta head back soon, actually. So soon? It's still bright out here. Yeah, Walter, I just got here. Stay a bit longer. Aw, you guys. Oh well, come over next time. Maybe we can have another sleepover party. Ooh, that's a good idea. Where should we sleep, though? Your move, obviously. There's no way I'm letting a young and vigorous guy sleep in the same bed as me. She crossed her arms as if she were trying to protect herself. Who would know what he'd do to my vulnerable body? What kind of person do you see me as? You know, if there's anyone going to do something to an unsuspecting person, it'd be you, Liz. Stop it! She skip-walked towards the house with an ear-piercing laugh that slowly dissipated as she went inside the house. What? Sorry about her. You don't have to apologize about that. I know she was joking. She might have been serious. In any case, I'm sure it was just nothing but a playful remark from her. You're heading home soon, right? Want me to walk you home? If you want to, I don't mind walking by myself. It's not even far at all here. I'll go tell Liz we're leaving, then give me a sec. Give me a bit. Oh, and I took care of the bill, no worries. Okays. Be back in a bit. While you're getting ready to leave, the storekeeper came out from his counter to clean up the table. I wonder where that guy is lately. He hasn't come to have cup noodles for a while. I'm getting worried. Wilfred said he missed having instant noodles. Is he talking about him? Excuse me, the person you mentioned, is he this blue, tall lizardfish guy? Oh, you know him? Mm-hmm. He's fine. I met him this morning. He said he missed having cup noodles. I'd assumed he meant this one. He actually said old man storekeeper, but you weren't sure if you really told him that, so you just omitted that information from him. That makes this old man happy. Or maybe you shouldn't have. He referred to himself as an old man anyway. Old man, no need to straighten yourself. It'll help you put this back. I'll help you put this back once I'm back. It won't take too long. Also, thanks for the food. It was awesome. Storekeeper, whose name was unknown to you, gave Mr. Parker a thumbs up with a genuine grin showing on his wrinkled, tired face. Ready to go, Walter? Yeah, let's go. As you two walk together on the sidewalk next to each other, your hand bumped against his a few times. You looked at him and chuckled awkwardly. You were him. One of those people who couldn't walk straight and would bump into their friend constantly when walking. Sorry, I swear, I'm not doing it on purpose. Don't worry about it. It just means I have to walk on your left side so that you don't stray too far away. Funnily enough, it doesn't happen when I'm walking alone. Should I just let you walk home by yourself then? You already told me you'd walk me home! I'm just pulling your leg. So mean! We got here really fast, huh? Well, it's not like our places are exactly that far apart. We're literally neighbors. You're right, but it just felt pretty fast compared to walking alone. Well, I gotta head back inside in case Lars started wondering where I wandered off to. Sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. After he waved goodbye, he walked back to where you two came from. You waited until he disappeared on the horizon before turning to unlock the gate. When you're doing it, you felt the presence of prying eyes behind you. Quickly turning your head, you saw a glimpse of a person with a splitting image of your dad. Then it was gone in the blink of an eye. I must be seeing things. Wanting to make sure if you were going crazy or if it was actually him, you picked up your phone and quickly dialed him to confirm that fact. It went straight to voicemail, unfortunately, but that was enough for you to confirm that person you saw wasn't real. If it was really him, you would have heard the phone ringing from there. You had a good pair of ears, after all. That, and you knew that your dad always had his ringtone on maximum. It was usually so loud that even if he stayed home in Farfetch, the ringtone could be heard from here. I hope you understood that was just hyperbole. Yeah, definitely seeing things, hopefully not crazy. I'm home. Oh! Lars, the only person in the room aside from you, had his ears perked up as he turned his attention from the TV to you, who called him from behind. He stared at you as if he was conjuring up a response, in which you knew what it was going to be. Don't. Welcome back. I'm going to make dinner now. Do you crave anything? I just had instant noodles with Mr. Parker earlier. Oh. No! No! Not Big Kitty! There was a short pause before his reply. Then, once you looked at his body language, you noticed something that could be translated as some sort of disappointment. You know what? We can probably eat more. I'm still a bit full, but I think I can go for more. Oh? Maybe make a small portion for me so that we won't waste food. And if you don't mind, that is. No! I mean, yes! I'll get started then. What will you be doing meanwhile? Rest up? Bath? Do you want me to heat up a bath for you? I'll go take a quick shower, actually. I see. I'll be quick. Okay, I'll be in the kitchen. Lars really wants to be the housewife. I can see it. He wants to be a housewife. He wants to be the man wife. While Lars decided to make food, you told him you'd go for a quick shower, so you had a short detour in your room for the drying towel before heading to the bathroom for the main event. Parker. Yeah. What happened to my cookies? You looked to your right and noticed the laundry hamper being half full or half empty depending on your perception. What caught your attention wasn't that, but the fact that Lars' underwear was hanging on the rim of the hamper. Had any other intention aside from putting it into the hamper properly, you kneeled down and grabbed it, but your curiosity took over as both your hands stretched the band from one end to the other. That's big. Compared to yours, the size of his underwear was simply huge. Front pouch was also loose and stretched out, signifying the sheer size of... Since it wasn't the right time, and before you got too curious, you quickly put it back where it belonged, undressed yourself, and hopped into the shower. Woo! Feeling immediately refreshed once the warm water was washing over your whole body, you knew you definitely needed the shower. I said I'd only do a quick shower, but it's already dark out there. Hope I didn't make Lars wait for too long. Rushing to get yourself dry and dressed up. You literally scrubbed your body dry with a towel. Please don't do that when you have time. It's bad for your hair and fur, folks. Yes, it is. Thanks to you rubbing dry your fur, you went into the kitchen feeling like looking like a Pomeranian. Instead of a soft, puffy coat, yours was frizzy and spiky. You looked like a stray dog more than anything. Since Lars was making a serving for you as well, he was still cooking the food. It seemed like you would be having stir-fried garlic shrimp tonight. Sorry, I didn't know it would take that long. When he looked at you, you could tell he was judging you from top to bottom. He tried his best to not laugh and succeeded. You don't have to worry about it. Should have let your fur dry properly. I just didn't want to make you wait for me in case you'd finished cooking. He smiled, both hands still busy with the frying pan and spatula. A shrimp fried what now? Oh no. Well, I'm almost done Well, if you feel bad about making me wait, why don't you help me set up the plates? I'm almost done with the stir fry. Okay. You felt Lars's gaze the whole time you set the utensils on the table, thinking that he was monitoring your every movement to make sure you wouldn't fuck up. Your body tensed, wanting to impress him. While in actuality, him including you to help out in the kitchen had gotten you all elated. Your tail was wagging left and right excitedly, and he was simply enjoying the adorable spectacle you gave him. But you didn't know that. All done! Hot pan incoming. Thanks for helping, Walter. You didn't want to get burned in any way possible, so you quickly hopped out of the way and sat down in the dining chair once you finished. Oh! I happened to find some shrimp by the wet market on my way home this afternoon, so I decided to cook it while it's still fresh. Oh, I didn't know you were out today. Yeah, I went to catch up with a friend I haven't seen in a while. Oh yeah, you told me about it yesterday. How was it? It was decent. I probably should have asked before I cooked this, but what do you think of shrimp? I don't mind it. Okay, good. I remember you didn't touch it during our trip in Waterfront Village. Yeah, I usually don't want to eat boiled shrimp or prawns. Too lazy to deshell them. Good to know you're not actually disliking the taste. Oh, no, I quite like the taste, actually. It's just peeling the shells that makes me go, meh. I see. I'll remember that. How's today been? I think it went well. You think? Well, it didn't feel like I had a bad day. That's acceptable, I suppose. Right. The lunchbox is there in my bag. I'll take them later. No worries. Oh, okay then. What about you, Lars? How's your day been? I had fun. Going out and all, I think. You think? Same reason as you. Touché. Nothing really interesting happened today. It was mostly a slow day for me. I hang out with Mr. Parker this afternoon. Oh, actually. I thought I saw my dad earlier, but I guess it was just me going crazy. Going crazy? Should I be worried? Well, not literally. I love his expression. Well, not literally. It's just me seeing things. Didn't realize I was that tired until the shower made me feel refreshed. Okay, I'm glad. Take it easy tonight, Walter. Yeah, I will. Luckily, there's no homework, so I'll be chilling for the rest of the night. That's good. You spent the evening having dinner and hanging out with Lars in the kitchen. Once you both felt it was enough interaction for the night, you two cleaned up the place and headed into your bedroom to get ready for bed. I have missed calls from my dad. Checking the phone that you let charging on the nightstand while you stayed in the kitchen with Lars, you noticed a few notifications from your phone. Some were just notifications from the mobile games you downloaded, text messages from Mr. Parker, Gil, and Marg. And 30 missed calls from your dad. With the latest one about half an hour ago. I forgot that he's a worrywart when it comes to us. I hope he's not upset that I didn't pick up the calls. Oh, something happened? No, I called him this afternoon. I should call him back. Do you want me to give you some privacy? Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to give him a quick update. Let's see. Ah, fuck. That hides everything. Walter! My son, you finally called me back! He pressed the dial button and he picked up the phone immediately. You didn't even have a chance to hear the usual long beep. Are you okay? Does someone kidnap you? Do I have to send for anyone? Edgar. Please. He probably just forgot that he called you earlier. He wasn't wrong. You forgot that you'd called him before entering the house this afternoon. Took a shower, charged your phone, went to the kitchen, and talked with Lars until late evening. Oh, are you busy right now? Not at all. That was just Uncle Ross. Who? Your landlord, Uncle Ross? Uncle Ross? Oh, I think I remember now. That's good, but are you okay? I'm okay, Dad, really. I called you earlier because I thought I saw you in Highwell. Oh, you did? Where? In front of my house, but yeah, I think I was just tired. It's all good. Tired? Have you been sleeping well? Are you eating well? What about money? I'm okay. Just a tiring day at school. I'm going over to Highwell to have a talk with the teachers. Please don't do that. Seriously, Edgar, stop doting on your kid like that. He's a grown man. He's a grown-up. He can take care of himself. But... Dad, listen to me. I'm doing well, really. If there's anything wrong, you'll be the first to know. I promise. You promised. Yes. Is Mom around? She's not around right now. Do you want to leave her a message? I can do that. I'll go call her sometime later. Okay, then. How about Herbert? It's been a while since I talked to him. He's probably in his room right now. Probably. Well, all I know is that he's at home. I don't know exactly where he is. What does that mean? You know your brother. You're right. Oh, hiya. I miss you guys at home. I miss you so much, my son. When are you coming back? It's been so long! Dad? It's only been like 2 weeks. I'm not used to being this far away from you. Well, I'm gonna hang up soon. I still have things to do. So soon? 5 more minutes? Fine, 5 more minutes. Yes. You could hear a small cry of victory accompanied with a distant sign from the receiver. Since you hadn't updated them about life in Highwell, you thought you should do that. As much of a helicopter parent as your dad was, he was doing it out of his love for you. Maybe helicopter parent was the right term, but your dad sure was overprotective of you. It was the reason you wanted to move out. You were glad it worked out somehow. Anyway, life in Highwell has been pretty nice. That's so? I'm glad to hear that. I don't remember if I told you or if Uncle Ross did, but I have a housemate now. Ah. Oh, there's a short pause. It's not going well! Yes, I know. Oh? Oh. Alright, what happened? I'm glad you decided to help him. I'm glad. Although I would have appreciated hearing the news from you. Sorry! You know you can talk to me about anything, right? Yeah. It's not like I don't want to talk to him about things, but I don't want him to overreact and force me to go back home. No, he won't do that, but still. I'll keep you posted more often when I can. That's all I ask, really. Well, you said you had things to do, right? I'll hang up the phone now. Okay, Dad. I love you, son. Love you too, Dad. Did something happen? Things are real quiet and awkward at the end. Nah, just him being him. Sorry if I came off as eavesdropping. No, we were both in the same room. We weren't being exactly secretive either. Just wanted to make sure. Are you heading to bed soon? Yes. You? After I reply to the text, yes. Ah, I see. I'll be heading to bed first then. Good night, Walter. Okay, good night, Lars. Thanks for today. It's been great. Don't stay up late now. I won't. I'm heading to bed after this. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I'll open Mark's text first. Uh-oh, he sure knows how to get someone curious. Seemed like he was online at the moment, so you decided to ask if he could tell you now instead of tomorrow. Deep down, you knew Mark would stay true to his word. At least you tried. This dude. Okay, next up, Gil's text. I'm surprised that he's texting me. He didn't even tell me when he left. You wanted to reply in a playful tone, so you act as if he was supposed to be sorry. After waiting for a few minutes, it didn't seem like he was going to reply anytime soon, so you went back to check on Mr. Parker's text. This was sent about an hour ago. His profile picture lit up immediately, and it showed that he was typing soon after, but it took so long that you just had to get yourself comfortable in bed as he waited. Since you got nothing more to do, you quickly put your phone away before you started absorbing yourself in a trance of funny cat videos. Right, the light. I need to turn it off. Once you lazily dragged yourself to turn off the light, you went back to your original position. You were already comfortable since the beginning, so it didn't take too long for you to feel the drowsiness kicking in. You closed your eyes and prayed that you didn't have insomnia incoming. And that is everything. Wait. What the fuck is lunch break? What the fuck is lunch break? Oh shit, details. Sorry about that. What do you need of me, Headmaster? There's someone who wants to talk with you. It's been a while, teddy boy. Oh! 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 Uh-uh! Uh-uh! Edgar? No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. You need to go back home, mister. It seems like you two are acquainted already. That's surprising. In any case, I'll leave you to be. Thank you for coming today, Mr. Graham. Thank you for taking your time to listen to my petty request, Headmaster. I'll make it up to you sometime. There's no need for that. Once the Headmaster left the room, they both sat down across from each other, with Edgar sitting on Mr. Parker's seat, legs crossed in a condescending way. Surely you know what I'm here for. Ugh. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Edgar's gonna beat the shit out of Parker. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah! I know, I'm so mad. Except I'm not really mad. I also wanted to... I know! Eh. The fuck just happened? I know, that is at Mac level. It's beautiful. Anyways. Stay safe, have a good night. And I will see you all tomorrow.